Short story by Paul McCann, A Generous God. In Ardslad, an ironworks was established, and in the surrounding areas houses were built to accommodate the workers who came to work on the site. They also developed another resource for the smelter, a small man-made dam that they called Lily Dam. In the spring and summer, swans swam around the dam, and families picnicked at weekends. It was a busy place in the warmer months, with kids catching tadpoles and couples walking hand in hand around the edge of the dam. However, in the winter, it was much different, as the swans had left and the water's surface was covered in a sheet of ice. Over a period of time, the ironworks was a hive of activity. Then all of a sudden, the war finished, and the ironworks eventually closed down. People moved on, and the village grew quiet. Those who remained were either too old or too well settled to move away. Sam was a family man with 5 children, a dog, some hobbies including dog breeding, bird breeding, growing vegetables, which he grew on a small plot of land that he had purchased in better times when work was plentiful. Sam had a gift not many could find. It was a strong trust in God. There was a reason Sam stayed on in Ardslad. He prayed hard every day for a change or a sign from God. Every morning as Sam walked the dog, he would pray and talk to God on the way. He spoke about great need, particularly to provide for his family, and asked God to help to change the circumstances that fell on him. He spoke about the great need he had in other areas. One cold winter's morning, as Sam walked along the road that encircled the Lily Dam, he saw a man fast asleep on a bench near the dam's edge. It was always so quiet and deserted in the morning. Sam was amazed to find a man there. As he approached him, Sam touched his shoulder, and the man jumped up in a hurry and screamed, which made Sam jump also and his dog snap at the stranger. Sam scolded the dog and made an apology to the man, who was now standing beside him. Sam asked, "Are you okay? Do you need to see the doctor or get tetanus shot?" "Nah, I'm fine," came the reply, as he held out his hands and arms to show there was no damage done. Sam was surprised, as his dog really did sink his teeth into the man's hand. "Are you hungry?" Sam asked. "Well, actually, yeah, I am hungry," he answered. "Listen, come home with me. I'm sure I have something at home to fill you. A little, if that's okay with you," Sam said. "It's very kind of you. That would be great, thanks," came the reply. They walked away from the dam, and in about half an hour they were at Sam's front door. Sam took him in and sat him at the table. His wife and kids were just getting out of bed as Sam began to fry some eggs and put on a pot of tea. The whole family stood and watched Sam, intrigued at what they saw. The visitor sat and smiled at everyone. Sam's wife pulled him aside into another room and she said, "Oh, what's going on? Are you mad? We hardly have enough to eat ourselves, and you're taking in strangers off the street. This is our home, not a charity." Sam looked at her for a few moments and replied, "I know, darling, don't be hard. The man's been sleeping out in the cold. I mean, he has no food, and we have more than some. So let's not take for granted everything we have." His wife answered, "Oh, I guess you're right, Sam. It's just so difficult now." Sure, I know. But God is good. He will provide, said Sam, and he returned to serve breakfast to their guest. After eating everything put in front of him, the visitor said, would you mind if I was to call again? Not at all. Any time, okay? Sam said. After the visitor left the house, there was a beautiful smell of roses around the house. The aroma remained for most of the day. Evening fell. There was a knock at the front door. Sam opened it up, and to his surprise, there was the man back again, but with 2 friends with him. They all looked tired and hungry. Come inside and sit down by the fire, Sam said. The man replied, these are 2 good friends of mine. Could I trouble you for some food and a place to sleep? Not a problem. We have some soup left over for dinner. And the food is okay, so maybe all night here you can stay. There's a place by the fire. You're most welcome. Sam sent the kids to bed, and his wife brought 3 bowls of soup to the guests, who began to pray. Bless this house and those in it. Lord, these are good people who have provided food and shelter for us tonight. So after that, they ate the bread and they supped the soup, and then they fell asleep in front of the fire. Sam and his wife returned to their bedroom and slept soundly till the morning. Early before most were awake, Sam took the dog, and then he went and got the lead from the drawer, and then he took the dog for a morning walk. One of the men by the fire stood up and went over and placed a hand on his shoulder, saying, He hears your prayers, you know, Sam. What? Sam replied. Every morning on your walk, as you talk to him, he hears everything you say, and that's why he sent us. I don't understand. Who are you? Sam asked. The other 2 men got to their feet. One of them said, He knows everything. Who? Sam asked, and one of the visitors replied, God, that's who approved us to come here. The 3 placed their hands over Sam and began to speak in a strange tongue. Sam felt an energy flow through his body. In a few seconds, every question that was in Sam's mind had been answered. Goodbye, Sam. We have to go now. God will provide for you. After the 3 men left Sam, he put the lead on the dog and walked out the door, almost floating on air. On the way to the dam, he saw the brightest light he had ever seen breaking through the sky. A sunbeam shone down and touched a bare patch of ground near the edge of the dam. Sam walked to where the light was and felt an urge to start digging. With his bare hands, he started to scrape away the dirt, and his dog joined in, clawing up the dirt. Then, at about a half a metre deep, there it was. The biggest gold nugget you could ever imagine, shining in the light of the sunbeam that now disappeared. Sam carried the large nugget home and was soon the talk of the town. From poverty to richness, Sam and his family were able to leave the village and make a new start in life. The end.
So this